Yo, 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 what's going on, guys? Good morning. Hope everyone's having a great Monday so far. If you hate Monday, shit, I got a lot of content, a lot of information for you. But hopefully you're in a place where you love Monday. But if you don't, this is going to help you and it's going to benefit you as well. So a lot of people are stuck on this like surface level response or solution to taking action, and a lot of people won't take action and they don't understand why. So people tell them, just do it, just fucking do it, and they think motivation, they think inspiration, they think just all these things are going to get them to step out and actually take action, and it's actually not the case. If you're joining on here, if you're live, hello, how you doing? Say good morning, let me know where you're from. Engage, be completely honest. It changes the algorithm, and it helps get this in front of as many people as possible. So if you do me that favor, that's all I ask from you today. So where are you from? What are you doing? What you up to this morning? So the reason why most people don't take action, even the action that they know that they need, and some people say, well, I don't know what action I need to take, because confusion is a protection paradigm. Confusion is much easier. It's much easier to be confused than it is to take the action that you know you need to. Because taking action that is different than our normal patterns or normal behaviors is filled with all sorts of uncertainty, all sorts of unfamiliarity, and people believe that if I take an action that's unfamiliar, it's unsafe and I'm gonna die. Okay, that's the way our minds are programmed. Our minds are programmed to do things that are familiar and to do things that are certain, because that guarantees our survival, or at least increases our chances of survival. Whereas our soul wants us to do things that require us to grow, that expand, to step out, and that bumps up against our survival patterns, our protection paradigms, our survival mode that we go into, and it says, "Oh no, don't do that shit." But our soul wants us to do those things. So, how do we get to a point where we understand why we're not doing things that we need to? Face is institutional. It's institutional as well. Absolutely. We're conditioned not to take chances. We're conditioned to take the safe choice, to play it safe, to take the safe job, to go to school, to do all those things. It's all institutional. It's all it's a systematic way of keeping us safe. It's also a systematic way of keeping people from progressing. So how do we get beyond that? We have to understand why it is that we do it. So there's a lot of motivational people out there that just tell you to take action. You need to do this, you need to do that. But you will not take action if it contradicts your belief. There's few people out there who will just say, fuck it, and we'll take action. But you will not take action that contradicts your belief. You will not take action that makes you feel completely unsafe, and you will not step into uncertainty unless you are prepared to do so. So the action that you need to take, it's almost in all instances, requires that you move into uncertainty. And the way that we become okay with that, the way that we become familiar with why it is we have to look at our past trauma, we have to look at the beliefs that were created by our trauma, and we have to look at the patterns that were developed because of these things. And this doesn't mean that you're broke, doesn't mean that you're weak, it doesn't mean everybody has these traumatic moments in their life where they were rejected, where they were felt like they're not enough, where something didn't go right, and we created this belief about it being unsafe. We experienced some emotional pain or rejection or anything like that because we stepped out of our comfort zone, because we did something, because we challenged the status quo, because we challenged the rules, because we went up against the institution. Maybe it was questioning our parents' rules. Maybe it was allowing ourselves to be seen. And we create these beliefs and we make these rules about what happens when I step outside of myself, when I step outside of what's comfortable, when I step outside of what's certain. And that creates a pattern where you do only what is safe, where you do only what is certain. For a long period in my life, I would only do things that I knew I would be successful at. And I was like, oh, I'm always successful. And the reason I was always successful and didn't fail at anything is because I played it safe. But I got no growth out of that. I got no expansion out of that. And I believe your soul wants growth and expansion and wants you to live a fulfilled and purposeful life. And in order to do that, you have to make yourself susceptible to failure. You have to make yourself susceptible to judgment from other people. If you want to create anything amazing in life, anything extraordinary, you're going to have to open yourself up to criticism. You're going to have to be vulnerable. You're going to have to open up yourself to rejection and judgment and all those things that we're so afraid of. So here's how you combat it. Here's how you actually take action. It's not just about saying, okay, just do it. Go out and take action. It's about understanding where these beliefs come from. It's about understanding where these patterns developed. And typically it's early in childhood and we make these decisions. And when we understand that, we can go back and we can clear those things. So here's how we change those behaviors or change those beliefs. One, we understand what the belief is and where it came from. Two, we disempower the disempowering beliefs. So we call bullshit on it. And we say, maybe I made this decision about, showing myself or about stepping out into, uncomfortable zones or uncertainty when I was a kid. But the decision I made, it doesn't really mean that. It doesn't really mean that I wasn't enough or that, doing anything uncertain means I was going to get rejected. And being rejected today doesn't mean like you're rejected and you're ostracized like it would, in primitive times, where if you got rejected and you were sent away from the tribe, like you probably perished and died. It doesn't mean that anymore. You can step out. You can be yourself. You don't need other people's approval. You don't have to follow the group. You don't have to follow the tribe. You can create your own tribe. You can fall in with a tribe of people who are designed around being in uncomfortable situations, about pushing themselves, about supporting each other through uncertainty. So number one, identify what the belief is. Number two is you disempower that disempowering belief. And number three is you throw everything on top of it that you can to affirm the new beliefs you want to create. And the cool thing about beliefs is that we can design and create them to serve what we want. So we understand that our old beliefs that were we chose probably subconsciously, unconsciously, they were institutionalized, they were they were handed down to us. When we understand that we don't have to live by those and we can create and design new ones that actually serve us, it changes everything. So you get to design your rules, you get to create your rules, you get to design your beliefs. So ask yourself, what beliefs would I need to design or would I need to choose, would I need to implement and reinforce and affirm in my life so that I can create what I want, so that I can have the relationship that I want, so I can have the business that I want, so that I can have the body that I want, so that I can just live emotionally free, so that I can quit my soul-sucking job and pursue what I really want to do. So you won't do it unless you understand the fear and objection that you have to actually taking these actions and doing it. And like I said, in some cases, there's unicorns that push through and they don't do this work and they're able to be successful. That becomes a pattern that serves them. But for the majority of people, you have to understand this stuff. And this is the value of working with a mentor or coach or light worker or shadow worker or healer or someone that can help you to see all this stuff, to help you do the inner work so that you can clear this shit, reprogram, design, and create beliefs and patterns and rules that actually really serve you. So, and then on top of that, this is where once you understand what your fears are, what you understand what your objections are and what's holding you back, that's where you take courageous action. And the way that you take courageous action, I've been talking about this a lot lately, is that you fill yourself up with uncertainty. So if you're going to do something that's uncomfortable, you're going to do something that's uncertain, you don't have to forego all certainty in order to do that. You have to generate generative certainty. And that generative certainty is your energy, your state, your mindset, all the things that you create for yourself internally that give you confidence, that give you certainty so that you can step up into fearful situations. And that fear is going to be there because anything you do uncertain, there's going to be fear there. There's going to be negative anticipation. There's going to be anxiety. There's going to be all those things. But the way that you get past that is you see why you're doing it, you reprogram, and you step in and you take action despite the fear. If you're waiting for there to be no fear there before you would act, you're going to be waiting forever. So the way that you break that pattern, that you bust that pattern, is you take bold and courageous action. And bold and courageous action doesn't have to be like this big old, grandiose thing. Maybe it's, speaking up. Maybe it's setting a boundary. Maybe it's taking an action that completely scares you. It doesn't have to be this big bold thing where you quit your job and sell all your things and do it. I think that's great, but you don't have to do that. So you can ask yourself, what action am I putting off? What action do I know I'm not taking that I need to take? What are the reasons why? What beliefs are holding me back? What patterns are holding me back? What trauma happened maybe in my life that has kept me from moving forward? Or, the beliefs and patterns that we develop, they protect us. They serve a purpose. But eventually they run their course and they're no longer serving us. They no longer have a purpose in our life other than to hold us down and keep us from taking the action that we need to. Maybe it is feeling feelings. If you saw my email today, it was about taking 90 seconds. It only takes 90 seconds from the time that we are triggered to completely feel emotions, let them process, let them run through the body, and then be gone forever. The problem is if we don't do that, if we don't have the courage, if we don't have the space, we don't create the space, we don't have the awareness to do that, those emotions get trapped inside our body. And they show up as stress, as tension, as paralyzing fear, as the conditions for disease within our body. But if we allow ourselves to feel those feelings, to feel those emotions, they come and then they go. And we feel release, we feel relief, we feel freedom from all those things. So all these things working together can help you to really eliminate, to change those old beliefs, those old outdated beliefs, and live the life that you want to. You can design and create beliefs that will serve you. And when you understand this, you can take courageous action. Then it's the time to say, just do it. Fuck it and just do it. So you find that place within you where you've generated all this certainty and you face your fears. You face what's uncomfortable. You put yourself in those situations. You understand that failure is not this like horrible thing that's going to kill you. You understand that rejection is not this horrible thing that's going to kill you. So I want you guys to live the very best life possible. I want you to live in alignment with your soul. I want you to live in alignment with what it is that you want to create. I want to help you design and create beliefs that are going to serve you. And I want to help you to be able to take the action that you know you need to take. One of the greatest things that you can do for that is have somebody that will call you on your bullshit. That will help you to see your protection paradigms. That will call you out when you're hiding. And that will help you and support you and help you to generate that certainty within you so that you can take the action that you know you need to. So if you have a mentorship and a coach, that's a huge step in being able to identify all those things and feel supported. If you have a structure in place where you are able to generate certainty for yourself, where you're able to consistently do the inner work, where you're able to generate the energy, state, confidence, all those things that you need, that is so important. And then when you provide yourself with a structure of support, and you have supportive people who aren't telling you, play it safe, do this, giving you bad advice, don't take shitty advice. When you put yourself around people who are going to push you to push yourself, having those three components in your life changes everything. So if you're focused on growth, you're focused on progress, you want to live the very best life possible, get those things. And I offer free coaching sessions. I offer free initial one-on-one sessions. And in those sessions, we can identify so much about your beliefs, your patterns, your trauma, and start the process of really, calling bullshit on those things and instituting and designing some beliefs that you want to put in place. Okay, it takes work, but it's not like something that you need years and years of therapy to overcome and to work through. Small bits of understanding and awareness, along with the tools that you need, can completely change your life. I'm talking about like this has been your life up until now, and then all of a sudden you just get projected into the stratosphere because you understand why you've done these things, because you finally understand and you have self-awareness, and it makes so much sense once you get it. And then when you take the action on top of that to create and design whatever you want, boom, you're golden. And you have support pushing you and holding you accountable and not letting you hide and being there when you're fearful. That's everything. So thank you guys so much for giving me your attention and allowing me to have this space to speak to you today. If this resonates with you, please share this stuff. If you have a comment question for me, please hit me up in the comments or send me a direct message, and I'd be happy to help you give you whatever you need. So love you guys. Thank you. Have a wonderful Monday. Talk to you soon. Bye.